Welcome back to TMZ Live. Lori Loughlin and her husband Massimo Giannulli woke up this morning staring down the possibility of a minimum of nearly 5 years in prison because they didn't take the original plea deal offer from prosecutors.
So they said,
we're going to hit with an indictment.
They said, we'll screw you with this if you don't accept the plea. They didn't accept the plea.
The prosecutors said, we'll screw you with this.
That's what they did. They said, oh, we're going to just add charges if you don't take a plea, which is I just find that a weird thing to do. Take a plea or else we're going to file more charges. It's weird.
It is a little weird, but they did, and now they could be, they're looking at, actually, maximum would be over 5 years, nearly 6 years in prison. So, you know, there's a big debate about whether or not that kind of prison time or any prison time is warranted in a case like this. We spoke to shoe mogul Steve Madden, shoe designer that you know his shoes, and Steve himself, of course, has
been to prison.
Went to prison for defrauding investors, stock fraud.
He spent 2.5 years in prison.
Yeah. So we asked him about, and he knows.
As a matter of fact, for money laundering too.
Yes.
And these are pretty much the same thing that Loughlin is based on.
So, and he told us he knows Massimo. He's played golf with him. They're in the same industry. So we asked him about Lori and Massimo's case and what he thinks should happen. Here's what Steve said.
What advice you have for them?
You know, I don't think anybody should go to prison for something like that.
Yeah.
But it sounds like a terrible story. It sounds terrible.
I hear that.
My advice is to throw yourself on the mercy of the court.
Like, should they just like admit, like, hey, we're guilty, we did it, and just fast up and just do their time?
No. I hope they don't do time. Don't wish that on them. Okay. It was misguided, for sure. They're trying to help their kid out.
Trying to do the best thing.
It was foolish, but what are you going to do?
By the way, throwing themselves to the mercy, normally that's something that you see in movies.
Right.
In this case, it may end up being that, because if they end up going to trial, and I don't know what's going to happen, whether they're going to plead to a 6-year sentence, I don't see it. And it may just be that what they want is a judge to say, wait a minute, we're going to put the brakes on this.
I don't think a lot of people see the same way as Steve Madden in no prison time. I think people are angered, especially people who work hard to get into college, and they want precedent set here, and I think there will be prison time.
There may be prison time.
There may be prison time. It's sort of like, you know, when you heard that Felicity, because of her plea deal, is looking at
4 months.
They're recommending 4 months.
By the way, for the exact same conduct, it's the same conduct.
Same conduct, and I think.
See, this is triggered by the amount of money.
Right. If you're looking for the pound of flesh, I think a lot of people would think, okay, that's good.
Okay, I am going to say something. Let me tell you how ridiculous this has gotten. That they're not just additionally charging her with money laundering. They're charging her with conspiracy to commit money laundering.
And that's
now, the reason this is so important, this is that new charge, is there are 14 people that didn't take the original plea from the Boston U.S. Attorney's Office. Those 14 have all been charged with conspiracy to commit money laundering. Now, we just said the amount of money that is paid determines the minimum sentence. So with Lori, she paid $500,000. But because of this new conspiracy charge, what they're saying is every one of those 14 worked with Rick Singer. So what they're going to do is, it's called a spoken wheel conspiracy, that they're going to put everyone around the wheel, all 14 of them, and then in the middle is Rick Singer. So each one of them conspired with all the others to do it, even though none of them knew each other. So what they're going to do is they're going to add up what each of the 14
now everybody
did.
I have a question.
So now it's going to be millions.
Do you think that the general public is going to be able to put some money on her books when she's in jail?
By the way, Steve Madden actually joked about that when we talked to him. He's like, maybe he said, maybe I should put some money on her commissary.
Oh my God! I'll send him some frosted flakes.
Because he knows about it.
To my uncle. Yeah, because he was in the beat too.
Exactly.
That really makes him feel good when you put a little money on their book.
The one thing you shouldn't feel good about, look, if she's charged with a crime, she's charged with a crime. That's fine. But when the U.S. attorney starts to do stuff like that with this conspiracy, which to me is ridiculous, everybody should worry about the next case that has nothing to do.
We've been worried for a generation.
Yeah.
We've been like Harvey. We've been so worried.
Yeah.
We're actually tickled. Some of us are actually tickled that you guys are worried now. We've been worried. We've been worried for a long time.
I love it.
Yeah, I don't like that.
I've never been involved in the justice system.
I don't like that. Yeah, Harvey.
Unfair.
It'll be all right, Harvey. It'll be all right.
Everyone should be worried.
But every
all right,
time
Harvey.
anything happens, whether it's with a poor person, a rich person, when the prosecution overreaches, I think we got to say, don't like this one because you don't like the person.
I'm agnostic. What I'm saying is that a lot of people
agree with that.
I'm agnostic. What I'm saying is that a lot of people, when they would hear you say people should be worried about how far the justice system can go, I think, and this is just a fair statement, that there are a lot of people who have been worried about that and talking about that and trying to get people to pay attention to that,
and that's
for a very, very long time.
Absolutely fair point.
Yeah.
Hey, this is Dante from Pasadena, Maryland. Hey, you guys have to realize that LoRI, she tried to play her hand, but she has to realize that a 4 of a kind beats a full house.
Where are you?
Pasadena, Maryland. He's in Pasadena, Maryland.
Beautiful behind you.
That's great.
Maryland.
And you free, my brother.
Yeah!
Don't try to get nobody in school. You free.
Okay, Magic's free.
Yeah, Magic is free because
Stand up for your people, Harvey. Stand up for your people,
He's president of basketball operations for the Lakers. He surprised everyone by quitting yesterday on the last day of the season, and LeBron James and his teammates were pretty down about, well, actually, if they were, they didn't show it because TMZ Sports got this video of them out partying together. I guess that's the positive.
This was after the announcement.
Yes, after the announcement, after the final game.
Magic wasn't there.
Magic was not there. They went to town.
Maybe he snuck in and snuck out. He ain't got nothing. He ain't got to be nowhere.
Joe ain't brain. He ain't got no work tomorrow.
Okay, a bunch of business ventures, so don't try to play Magic. Thank you.
It's not playing Magic. It's sort of like,
we got money like Magic. Yeah, you can quit, motherfucker. You can walk off a motherfucking job.
Probably he has so much other business ventures that it just got too hectic.
This is more about LeBron. Yeah, it's not fun for him, but it's more about. Look, I know Magic quit, but let's face it. Everyone had high expectations this season because of LeBron.
Some of us.
LeBron was injured much of the year, but
I mean, here's the situation. Magic Johnson is above reproach in a lot of aspects, right? He's a fantastic businessman, a community leader, and an inspiration for everyone. This is a disappointing end to Magic's tenure as head of the Lakers.
It's also a disappointing end to LeBron's first season.
Disappointing end to LeBron's first season. A lot of people thought and expected and hoped that Magic Johnson and his sort of gravitas around the NBA would restore the Lakers to where they were before, and that didn't happen.
Brought the Dodgers back.
No, he didn't really bring the Dodgers. You keep saying that.
Well, they've been to the World Series 2 years in a row.
The Dodgers are great. Yeah. Magic Johnson, it was in a different role with the Lakers than he was with the Dodgers.
Well, but he's deeply involved in the operation. He's there almost every day, and he's working.
Yeah, but you know what he does for the Dodgers?
He does a lot for the Dodgers.
Like what? Like just find
Oh gosh.
He is a face. You know what? Because Magic joined, I want to be part of Dodgers.
Whereas he was making direct personnel decisions.
He helps in recruiting. And he also has done an enormous amount with the stadium, making money for the team, renovating. Can you kill
Can we do that?
Y'all don't do Harvey like that. Don't do my boy like that.
I didn't think that was possible.
You know what? I think we can trump him on this.
Well, you're going to speak
and Rocky had to go that top.
I'm sorry. As soon as he said recruiting for the Dodgers.
No, he hasn't recruited nobody. Like Magic Johnson is amazing.
Magic Johnson
is a fantastic guy. Right. Well, he should have magnetized some more people to the Lakers.
Okay, we're going to take a break, and when we come back, this is we haven't even seen this video yet. Just came in. Conor McGregor smashing the phone in Miami. You know, remember his last arrest? Well, now there is surveillance video that shows the whole thing going down.
A phone getting smashed from 5 angles.